Hey, this is Soccer in the South with Wolfman Jeff coming at you. How you guys doing this fine Saturday? Just finished watching Wolves take on Cardiff, and I had originally called for a 1-0 Wolves victory. I was wrong. It was 2-0 Wolves victory, and yes, Pete Rimmer, it is nil, not 0. I'm here in the South, and they say 0, but in the UK it is nil, as it is in Canada. So, very interesting match. We saw some lineup changes. It was announced the day before that John Ruddy was going to be starting, so we were expecting that, and I covered that in the match preview. But it wasn't just that. Nuno had brought some other changes in, and pretty much what he did is he swapped out the midfield, and the only one who's been starting recently that still was there was Dendonka. So our wingers were swapped out, as well as our other midfielders. So brought in this match was Vinagre, Traore as a winger, and then Morgan's Gibb White and Saiss also in midfield. And they were swapped for Johnny, Doherty, Neves, and Matinho. So that seemed kind of odd. At first you wondered, did he do that just to confuse Warnock? So he didn't know what to do with those guys? Or was it the fact that when you look at the schedule, there aren't too many other chances going forward where we could get this kind of change going in there? Also the fact that our last match on Tuesday, Huddersfield, was a great disappointment, maybe one of our worst matches. And the two ones going before it were draws that we should have won. So could be a combination of Nuno wanting to mix things up, but it also is seizing the opportunity of going, this is probably the last time, at least for a little while, where we're going to be able to really make some big changes and feel comfortable with still getting the win, which happened. So I don't know if any of these or if most of these will be in the next match against Chelsea. I do think we may see a lineup that's somewhat of a hybrid between this one and the one that we've had in the last few matches. So it started off, actually the first few minutes were disappointing. I was a little worried. They didn't seem to have much traction. And then just a few minutes in, we started to get going, and we had gotten 2 goals in quick succession. And I had mentioned before that if we score early, it'll be a goal fest. And it kind of felt like the rest of the match we were going to score again at any time. So hats off to their keeper at Cardiff. He did a fantastic job, because otherwise there would have been a much higher score. At the same time, I felt like Wolves felt like it was comfortable with that 2-0 lead. I can't complain about that, because we just got a great victory. We needed this victory. We set out to do what we did. Great goals, by the way. The first one was Jota, and it was coming off of Jimenez. And then, of course, Jimenez coming off of Jota. Those two guys are so much in sync and are reading each other so well that it's exciting to see both of them in front of the goal with the ball. Because if they're there, there's a really good chance they're going to score, and they're going to make sure it gets to the one most likely to score. Traore had started as a winger, and of course he had his opportunity to run up and down the field because he's got the legs for it. He created a lot of chances, but still has work to do on his finishes. And he doesn't seem to have someone, or at least I'm not seeing, that communication with his fellow players. Either he's going to take the ball, or when he does pass, it's like he's not in sync with the other forwards or midfielders so that they could score. And that's a thing I know they're going to work with him on. If he gets to that point where he's working with someone like Jimenez and Jota are working, it's just going to be amazing. So I'm glad he got a lot of playtime today, and I know we're going to be seeing him a lot more as the season carries out. Bennett, unfortunately, had gotten another yellow card, and that means that the next 2 matches, including the Chelsea match coming up next, there's no Ryan Bennett. I know that we have a lot of options. I'm assuming Saiss is going to be coming in for him. With the win, we're now at 43 points. We have like 9 matches left, and we're still at our highest points total ever in the Premier League. So every win we have from here on out is history. So that's fantastic. Man of the match. Well, there actually is a lot I could pick and go through, but I'm going to go for Ruben Vinagre. I think that was probably his best match ever. He was so tenacious. He's always shown a lot of passion and energy, but he had more focus, he had more control, but yet still keeping, I mean, he put every ounce of energy he had and didn't quit. And that was just fantastic. And I think some of the results that we got were because Ruben got things going. So Vinagre, my man of the match. So who's your man of the match? I mean, I do think that there's a few that we could put up there. Vast improvement with Ruddy compared to the last times we've been seeing him in FA Cup. So that makes us feel when he plays against Manchester United in the next FA Cup, we're not going to feel kind of skittish at all about Ruddy starting. So, which I think was the goal that Nuno had, or at least the intention for Nuno. So, what do you think of the lineup? Do you think we're going to be seeing this lineup more, or is it going to be more of a hybrid, or do you think Nuno is just going to be more willing to swap players around a little bit? Let me know about what you're thinking about our future. This is looking really good. On Tuesday, we were dealt a really hard blow, and it was really easy to feel like, we're in panic. I think a lot of that in one match has changed and realized, okay, that was a glitch. We're good. We're moving on. Nuno had a dream to build a football team, and that's what he's been doing. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to share with other people. This has been Soccer in the South with Wolfman Jeff.